Hello everyone, I'm from Peking University and also I'm the director of Beijing Academy of Artificial Intelligence. It is my great pleasure to share with you about current situation, trend and cooperation opportunities of artificial intelligence with Thailand. As you may know, that AI has become one of the most important topics and focus for a lot of countries and regions. A lot of countries and regions have promulgated AI strategy as one of the important future orientation. For example, in 2017, on July 2nd, we have the State Council of China has promoted the AI Action Plan. According to the plan, by 2020, AI technology should be rubbing shoulders with other countries in the world. In 2025, parts of the AI technology of China will reach world-leading status, and by 2030, the AI technology as a whole will be leading the world from China. So, from a concept level, over the past 6 decades, we have 3 different schools of thinking about artificial intelligence. First is about icon, meaning that through manual power, we will formulate rules from massive data, and then using computer to execute the rules. This is one of the preliminary idea about artificial intelligence. Second is the school of thinking about connection, meaning to create neural networks. As we all know, the intelligence of a human being is based on our neural links in our brain. So that is why, adopt the same line of thinking, people want to create a similar neural networks in machine. That is the second phase of artificial intelligence. But for the third phase, it's about artificial intelligence based on behavior. Just like normal human being and all the creatures and species in the world, they have their own accustomed behaviors that pass down from generations after generations. So these are the 3 different schools of thinkings about artificial intelligence, and the concept that we are going to talk about today is the combination of these 3. As we all know, artificial intelligence comes a long way over the past years. There are 2 ways to create a very successful artificial intelligence technology. The first one is deep learning. We create convolutionary neural networks. And this is different than the preliminary thinkings because in the phase 1 of AI development, we focus more on human being to let the human being to select the data, create rules for the PC, for the machine. However, in the second phase of AI development, it is all automatic. And also, we try to adopt enhanced learning, meaning it is deep learning by the machine. We can enable the machine to interact with the environment with a very simple punishment and reward mechanisms to let the machine to learn from the environment. But who is the mainstay of this learning process? This is something that we cannot solve in the second phase. And over the past decade, we have come a long way to create a neural network of artificial intelligence to learn, to be trained, and to create good results. And we have really come a long way in this respect. And third concept, which is the ultimate goal of artificial intelligence, is to imitate all species on a very accurate level to make sure that we can let the machine to imitate the neural links of the different species. And this is something that also comes a long way for the past 30 decades. So today, the artificial intelligence that we're talking about in this presentation is about the technology advancement of these 3 different aspects. Previously, the interaction between data is the same as all the things in our environment. The data is a description of the world, and those data created from our environment. When we talk about environment, we're normally thinking about natural environment, nature, and these are similar concepts. Nature is just a expression of different data. So that is why it is easier for a machine to create and to interact with the nature because it regards all the nature that's surrounding it as data. So previously I've shared with you a lot of three methods. First is big data plus high-end algorithms to create information model, because this model is based on data and create intelligence. So this is the model based on information and data, and this is the model that forms the basis of artificial intellect technologies in today's world. And this is the model that forms the basis of AI. However, there's a lot of people using this model, and there are a few research institutions try to create big model with high-end technologies. This is just like in the past when there's an industrial revolution where several few institutions try to use high-end technology to create high-end models. For example, in 2018 to 2019, the OpenAI from United States has created this big model using neural networks to train this model and create a 175 billion models that can help you to process different tasks. And this is the title of this model is GPT-3. And this is the model that can interact with human being. It's similar to the capacity of human being when it comes to communication and interaction. The shortcoming of this model is that all of this dialogues is based on context, is based on text, meaning that if you're talking to this model and the content of your communication is outside of the text that was input into this model, then the model cannot handle a normal, outstanding communications. So after a year of efforts, in March this year, our institute have promulgated the first Chinese big models. Our model can also talk to different human beings. It can understand. It can also write articles. So we can, and today is May 31st. Tomorrow we will launch the 2.0 version of this model. I cannot give you the detail about this model, but I can say that this model is world-leading, unprecedented, in an unprecedented level. The interaction capacity, the AI computing capacity is second to none in the world. In the future, we can achieve multi-language processing, and we can actually collaborate with Thailand in this respect. Because it takes a lot of computing and algorithms, high-end algorithms, to achieve this, to have these achievements. And it takes multilateral collaborations to achieve this result. And I believe that in the next 5 to 10 years, we need more collaborations for better quality. And the second way for developing artificial intelligence is to enhance learning, meaning that you put the machine in an environment and let the machine to learn by itself. So we're putting a self-learning algorithms in the machine and put the machine in the environment. The machine can learn it by itself. As you can see, this is you let the machine to learn by itself in this environment where we actually design a game of peekaboo, and we put the machine in this environment and let the machine learn. For example, the target of this task or this game is to not be captured by these two or several blue dots. The third way to develop or to create artificial intelligence is bioenergy, or because just like human being, we evolve generations after generations on this planet. That is why we try to adopt the same line of thinking to actually achieve machine iterations, generations after generations, using intelligence. And for technologies such as facial recognition and other technologies, these are the technologies that have some flaws. And the reason behind that is because even though the neural networks can be very advanced, however, it is still lagged far behind by the computing power of human brain. That is why we adopt neural technologies or neural links, try to create biological models. So these are the three models to create artificial intelligence. The first one is deep learning plus big data, big algorithms, big computing power, and with the information model. Second is enhanced learning in the environment scenarios. The third way is neural networks. But there are some similarities among these three different models in order to produce artificial intelligence, which is big computing power. We need huge computing power to create a very proper artificial intelligence. This is the area that requires collaborations between countries. Only with big computing power we can create new generation of smart model in order to create proper artificial intelligence. So with a proper new generation of models, we can create good AI system. We can lay the solid foundation to create good AI technology. So I hope that in the future we can extend our collaborations with Thailand in this respect. Thank you.